Guys, in this video we are going to look at the female reproductive system. So under female reproductive system we have female reproductive organs that are responsible for the purpose of reproduction, and we know that reproduction is an important process because it makes sure that the species continues to exist. Now, away from there we have an organ here. So whenever you see such a diagram, just remember that you are dealing with the female reproductive system. Now let's begin by labeling this, and we give some functions. So the first one, we are going to have a look at this structure here. So this structure is called an ovary. So an ovary has the functions of releasing eggs. Now the biological name, scientific name for eggs, we have the ova for plural, ova for singular. So you need to take note of that. Then apart from releasing eggs, the ovary can also secrete hormones such as progesterone. Apart from progesterone, we may have estrogen. Then if you are told to give the function or the functions of these two hormones, they are responsible for pregnancy, number one. Then we have puberty, menstruation, menopause, sex drive, sperm production, and more. So those are the sum of the functions of the hormone produced. Now, away from there, we have this structure that has a funnel-like structure. So this is called a fimbria. Now, the function of the fimbria during ovulation, so it receives a mature ovum from the ovary and deposited into the tube. Now, this old tube here, this is called an uterine tube. In some books you may find it as fallopian tube. If not fallopian tube, we can also call this one as oviduct. Now the simple function that we give for this fallopian tube is that this is where mostly the process of fertilization occurs. So fertilization is the joining of the male reproductive cells with the female reproductive cells. Now, the same uterine tube is divided into different regions. So the first region, which is the end part of this same fallopian tube, this part here, this is known as, so we have this structure called infundibulum. Then apart from the infundibulum, we have another region somewhere here called ampullum. Then the ampullum is where the fertilization process is likely to occur. So this is our ampullum. Now we also have somewhere here isthmus. Right, now this structure here, this is called as fundus or fundus. Then away from these structures, now let's look at this structure here. So we have the uterus. So the uterus is called, has another name known as a womb. So the function of the uterus, let's say if fertilization has taken place, this is where now the development of an embryo occurs. So you need to make sure you take note of that. Now, this same uterus is made up of different layers and also different membranes. So the outer membrane of the uterus, this membrane somewhere here, is called endometrium. So the endometrium depends whether there is fertilization process or the fertilization process has not taken place. So if the fertilization has not taken place during menstruation, the endometrium is shed, is washed away, and this can be thin or thickened, depends on the condition, which is due to the presence of the hormones that we are given, which is progesterone and estrogen. Then under this endometrium we have now the thick. So the thick is somewhere here. This is known as myometrium. So the function of myometrium, it is made up of muscles. It is made up of muscles that helps to push the baby during the childbirth. Now we also have this structure somewhere here. This is called the cervix. Now the cervix simply means the neck. So the cervix is like the neck of the female reproductive system. Now if we are to look at this cervix, if the person is pregnant, so this cervix will close to prevent the entries of unwanted organisms that may cause the embryo to have certain disorders. Now during the childbirth it opens, so you need to take note of that. Then we have the vagina here. This one functions is it receives the sperms during the process of ejaculation. So these are some of the functions of the female reproductive system that we can look at here. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.